Let's talk about some safety net issues that are in the news right now. Minimum wage. Are you in favor of seeing it raised nationally?
No, it would. I started out just like Paul Ryan did down the road for me, working at McDonald's. Jobs that involve the minimum wage are overwhelmingly jobs for young people starting out in the workforce. The last thing I wanted to do is have fewer young people at the time when unemployment rates are still way too high.
But you know, you can split that minimum wage. Well, hang on. You can split that conversation. I mean, there's some states that even do that now, where there's a minimum wage up to 18, and then as an adult you have a different minimum wage. What if it was something like that? I mean, when you have a grown adult living on their own, this is not about teenagers. It's about somebody 23, 24, 25.
Yeah, but you know, the answer to that is doing what we're trying to do in the state of Wisconsin, where just as important as adding more jobs, and we'd like to see more jobs in our state, one of the things we're the most proud of is the recent numbers show we're one of the top states in the country for increases in average weekly wages.
You know, the issue of income inequality is, I think, going to be a larger conversation. Part of it because we have an economic recovery going on right now that statistically looks like it's about to take off. But this issue of a wage gap, right, where all this wealth that came back post-Great Recession went more to the top than it did to the middle. What's your prescription on income inequality, especially since there is some doubts about whether the so-called, if everybody at the top's coming down, right now we're not seeing evidence that as the top improves, it trickles down.
Well, again, I think we've got to create a better environment so that, for example, my state, where about 20% of my economy is based on manufacturing, we have to give people the skills they need to jump up in those jobs that are paying more, that would raise their income. We see tremendous growth in manufacturing, but historically, not just in the last year or two, but historically much more of that is focused on areas where automation and innovation are helping us bring jobs back from China, from Mexico, from India, from other places out there. But you need more than just a high school graduation to do that. And so I'm not a big spender, obviously, but one of the areas I put about $100 million in my last budget in is in worker training, because that's how we're going to give people the skills they need to walk right into jobs that pay more. And that's how you start to narrow that gap out there. If people are just thinking they're going to get jobs coming out of high school, those days, in many cases, have long past us. And we need to make sure, whether it's a 2-year, a 4-year, a graduate degree, any number of areas out there, that we've got enough focus on giving people the training they need to get the kind of jobs that will pay well and support their family.